Hello, everyone. Welcome in to this edition of the Unash and Dukes podcast, presented by Emel's Hideaway in First Avenue Southeast in Cedar Rapids, right across from the Lindale Mall next to the Home Depot. And we thank them for all their help. They're open 4 o'clock Monday through Saturday. And stop on by. They're a classic local American restaurant with a great fully stocked bar, great people there, and a it's all tasty. The Hawkeye's very, very good. Everything's good at Emel's Hideaway. Our presenting sponsor of the Unash and Dukes podcast. You can go to our YouTube page, just type in Unash and Dukes podcasts, become a subscriber. You can hear our previous episodes there and watch those at your leisure. You can do so at crmlivesports.com as well. And also get the links at Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, wherever else we are. We're everywhere in the good old USA right now. Scott and Mark with you as we get ready for a weekend. And holy cow, what difference 57 hours can make, Mark. From the time I stepped off a golf course on Tuesday afternoon to Thursday night into Friday morning early, winter's back.
This is exactly why I don't like going out. And like you did on Tuesday or even Wednesday, a lot of people played because you're going to sit around for 3, 4 weeks now and before you can get out again. And I went out in December one year and that was fun. It was a little bit different. It was a continuation of the season, but I just don't like getting out. It's wonderful to get outside, but I don't like going out once and then sitting around 3 or 4 weeks. But it's the time of year that we're used to in Iowa. It's not a big alarm or a surprise or anything like that. But a day like today, I mean, it's that time of year. I think I looked at 2 o'clock. You can tune into minor league baseball. You can tune into golf in LA. You can tune into USA hockey and the Olympics. You could even go online and look at high school wrestling at the state tournament at the Casey Center. So I think it's a wonderful time of year. February into March, you're going to be busy with tournaments coming up, and I just think it's a wonderful time of year.
It is. It is a great time of the year. And it makes you wax nostalgic a little bit. We may have more on that in a future podcast. But, one of my favorite things of the year is at one night a year, and it happens to be tonight. We head out to um, do a 1A or a 2A regional semifinal on the girls' side. And it's not a fair comparison to between small school basketball and the large schools. It's just not because it's apples and oranges these days. Maybe not 30 years ago, it wasn't to a certain extent, but we're going to go out to Springville, and the town comes to the game no matter what. You may have had a kid that was graduated 23 years ago. They're still coming to the game because that's what your neighbor does. That's what the guy down the road does in his family. And I just love that atmosphere. And I look forward to it a couple times during the year, and that includes tonight. So that's I wax nostalgic a little bit, Mark, and maybe I do
No,
it more and more.
it's very true. I mean, I have relatives that live in a small town in Iowa that have the kids, they're athletes, and those small towns adhere to those old traditions, setting off the teams with a fire truck and a parade and whatnot, honoring the kids and a pep assembly. And I think some of the larger schools do similar things to that. They also do it for decathlon teams and band and speech and whatnot. But it's wonderful to recognize all those kids. But the smaller towns, you're quite right. When you go to the game tonight. It's going to be full. It's going to be loud. It's going to be like a family reunion. And this time of year, when the tournament trail starts, those fans follow too, not just at home.
Yeah, and always fun. and it's
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. And I guess I'm looking forward to, and again, waxing nostalgic. Maybe that's the theme of the program and the podcast today. Um, it is the first day of spring training baseball, and hope springs eternal. I guess still, can you say that in the days of the Dodgers paying guys 10 years down the road for what they are doing right now to win them championships? I guess that's still the case because you're still going to have a team that's going to come out of nowhere. You hope it's your team. Um, I'm hoping for better things. When you're hoping to just get to 500 this year, I I think you and I are both in that boat, Mark, with our teams this year. Um, maybe there's not as much optimism, but it's still baseball, and it's still fun to see, to tune in, see warm weather ish, and to watch at least a couple of innings, guys that are going to end up in Double A and Single A at the end of the spring training cycle.
Yeah, I think some fan bases are probably more excited than the others, but my fan base, the Minnesota Twins, weren't excited in the first place, and now Pablo Lopez is out for the year. Ace starter, got injured in a bullpen session. I mean, that just it kills the optimism. You know, things can happen, trades might occur, but um, to your point, yeah, the first sounds of the pitchers and catchers, and now these first games, um, and some college teams get to take part too. I think the Minnesota Gophers play the Twins in one of the first games, and you see a lot of those games. Great opportunity for college kids. And great opportunity for those double A and triple A players that you talked about who have aspirations to make the major leagues and put on kind of a major league uniform in a game like they are today in the White Sox and the Cubs. Um, it doesn't matter who wins the game, probably. I know you hope the White Sox do, but it's inconsequential, really. It's just getting, the last spring training game I went to was the last one of that particular season. It was in Naples for, or wherever the Twins and the Red Sox played. It was the last game, so you saw a lot of starters. You didn't see the double A guy pitching and catching and playing left field and whatnot. I like to go towards the end of spring training if I had a chance.
Yeah, it's still fun. It's not like it used to be. Prices for spring training games are as much as the regular season now. Um, yeah, it's been a while since I've been down there, and yeah, it used to be in the old days, you could plunk down $5 and go sit in the bleachers for a spring training game. Not the case anymore. That's big business down in Florida and in Arizona,
Yeah, it is.
and that's how they pay those exorbitant Dodger salaries. Sorry, John Bonacamp, if you're watching.
Mhm.
Oh, brother. It is college basketball season still, and big weekend. Some big games, including big games for both Iowa and Iowa State. Cyclones will play late Saturday night in Provo, Utah, at the Marriott Center. They will take on a really hungry BYU team that really, really could use a Big 12 win and a signature win in the Big 12. They're right around 500 in that league, despite the fact they're still 23rd rated in the country. Obviously, have one of the best freshmen in the country. Cougars probably have not had the year that they were envisioning going in. And Iowa State, this is their third biggie in a row for the Cyclones. And they plunked the first two at home. Now they got to go on the road. It is a tough place to play out in Provo. BYU has beaten some really, really good teams, including Gonzaga when they were in the West Coast Conference in the past, and St. Mary's. And another time for a statement for Iowa State. You can get yourself to a one line real quick for Iowa State if you can get a win in Utah on Saturday night.
Yeah, that coupled with Houston plays against Arizona on Saturday as well. That matchup is, Arizona's been on the one line, Houston's been on the one line, dropped to the two line after the loss to Iowa State. But this is going to be a battle for the one line. Um, between and among these teams. Now UConn was right there too until it got beat by Creighton. So it's really, a week by week thing anymore. And after victories over Kansas and Houston, this would be a huge victory at a really tough place that you described, Scott. And uh, you know, Iowa State has had some struggles on the road, but this would be a huge win. And then you look at the Big Ten, and Iowa goes to Wisconsin, and I don't expect good things there. But as far as Iowa State goes, it's a solid team that's going to be a number two at the very least. But a win against BYU would put a notch in their belt.
Yeah, every weekend's a huge weekend in college
Yeah.
basketball. But man, you starting off with Purdue hosting Indiana for the second time this year. That's on Friday night. Don't sleep on the Billikens and the Redhawks. They're both in action on Friday night. Miami of Ohio at going for 27-0. A lot of people are saying the game of the year, Mark, coming up Saturday evening, as it will be Michigan, number one, going to Cameron Indoor to take on number three Duke. It's not number one versus number two, but it's darn close. Um, I don't think I don't think whoever loses this game really loses a whole lot. I don't think they're going to fall off the one line. I mean, if Michigan loses at Duke, do they drop four spots? I don't think so. Michigan's mainly the overall number one now for everyone. Duke only lost a couple of games. This Michigan team, I'm really excited to see coming up in the next couple of weeks. Um, People are talking about not only the game of the year, possibly, but this could be a preview of the national championship game. We'll see.
That's not a stretch, I don't think. And actually, I think it's a neutral site game
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
in Washington, D.C. But nevertheless, the matchup itself speaks for itself, really. Number one, Michigan has really uh, put a stranglehold on that overall number one seed. But Duke with Cameron Boozer and others, Schreier's a great coach. I agree. It's probably one of the games. I mean, look at Michigan and Duke, Houston, Arizona. I mean, four of the top teams in the country right there in two games this weekend. It doesn't get much better than that.
No, it doesn't. And I did know that was not
Yeah,
incorrect. I apologize to everybody out there. It's still going to be a great basketball game. And
yeah.
Houston, Arizona, I think is going to be just as good. I mean, you got Houston, Arizona, Duke, Michigan, Iowa State, BYU all lined up on Saturday. Keep that clicker ready
Yeah.
and oiled up and ready to go. Plus state wrestling at night. Hopefully to get back soon from our basketball game on Saturday night to see all that. But like I said, it's getting closer and closer to tournament time. Have you seen a team right now that's out that you think that might catch fire? It doesn't have to be a Big Ten or a Big 12 team that just anywhere in one of the power conferences around that might catch fire at this time and be a bid stealer for somebody.
Boy, I haven't delved into it a great deal, but I think I was thinking ahead, and Iowa's next opponent after Wisconsin, Ohio State at home. I mean, Ohio State is right there. I haven't looked at bracketology, but I know Iowa's on the 8 line, 9 line, something like that. Ohio State wouldn't be necessarily a bid stealer, but I think that's a team capable of. I mean, look at they beat Wisconsin by 17 the other night. I think it's a very capable team that could do some damage in the postseason. Now watch them lose by a dozen at Iowa next week. I don't know, but basketball is so screwy. Um, there's going to be a team out there, and I'm not saying it's Miami of Ohio, but there's going to be a team out there out of one of these conferences that makes some noise because it happens every year.
Yeah, it is.
What do
And
you
by the
think?
way,
What do you think?
I I watched them the other night, and they look 150% better than they did 2.5, 3 weeks ago. Watch Creighton.
Yeah,
Watch watch Creighton. They may have to win the Big East, maybe to
they're
get
ranked at
in.
500 right now. Yeah.
Correct. But and we talked about it earlier in a podcast that terrible news about Josh Dix's mom. Owen Freeman is showing some signs that he's starting to get things going in the right direction. And Dix is also another team I like in playing pretty good basketball right now is Central Florida, and some people
Mm.
have them in. Uh, they're right on the bubble with Ohio State, UCF is, but um, remember watching them in Ames against Iowa State, and they got a very, very good lineup, very talented. Not the deepest team in the world, but it's a good starting unit for Johnny Dawkins. And those are a couple teams that I'm kind of keeping an eye on. Creighton probably has to win the Big East.
Yeah.
And but I think they're capable. The Big East is St. John's is starting to play really well. We know how good UConn is. After that, it's a little bit of a down year in the Big East. Nova's okay. They're making a comeback, but Marquette's way down. Creighton, up until the last couple of weeks, has been down. It's not the best year for the Big East, but that makes me think that Creighton has a chance.
McDermott is a heck of a coach, and
Yes.
the victory over UConn speaks to the capability that Creighton has. And if Freeman, goes on a roll here and plays up to his peak capabilities, which he hasn't since he arrived in Omaha, all the better. Uh, I can see that because, like you said, the Big East, aside from UConn and St. John's, probably isn't, one of the, really great conference this year, so to speak, at least throughout. But yeah, it's another reason it makes it fun with the conference tournaments getting underway, um, and bid stealers that are going to tick off somebody that was soliding in the field and gets knocked out. It happens all the time. It's going to happen again, and it's just fun to watch.
Being fun to watch, shame on you if you did not see Alabama Arkansas on Wednesday night.
Yeah,
Oh my goodness.
still in overtime.
Double overtime. And you talk about athletes and
Yeah,
future NBA guys. Holy cow. And tell you what, Arkansas is playing good basketball right now for Cal. They're starting to get it together. SEC, I don't know what the best conference is. And I know there are metrics out there that tell you, but I mean, just by the eye test, and nobody uses the eye test anymore, Mark. It's all about analytics and this and that. There's 75 theorems that can come out with who's best. But, Big 12 is really good at the top. I think the Big 10 might be just a little bit deeper, but maybe not quite as good after Michigan. The SEC has got talent all over the place. I think those are the top three right now. But then in the ACC, Duke and Carolina are getting ready for their rematch at Cameron. And boy, don't think Duke wants to win that game after
yeah.
the court storming and everything that went on. But it's going to be fun. There are a lot of good conferences, a lot of good teams. March is going to be fun this year. Always is.
I'm rooting for Bowling Green tonight.
You are anti-Red Hawk.
Listen, they might be unbeaten. They haven't beaten a quad one team. They've only played one quad two team. They're not only in the tournament because they're projected to win the conference. They wouldn't be in otherwise because of those metrics, Scott. They're like 50 or 55 in the net. I can go on and on. It's a wonderful story, good for them, but I'd see him play Arkansas.
I hate the quad system. Bring back the RPI. And that
Hmm.
it is the Unash and Dukes podcast brought to you by Emil's Hideaway and First Avenue Southeast in Cedar Rapids. Big thanks to them and our other great sponsors, which include Dr. John Woolner at Epiphany Dermatology, Council Street Northeast in Cedar Rapids. Kurt Gustafson, Agency of American Family Insurance. Kurt located on Johnson Avenue Northwest in Cedar Rapids, right across from the Johnson Avenue Hy-Vee. Bim Ritter Sportswear, 817 2nd Avenue Southeast, and online at bimritter.com for all your screen print and embroidery needs. And also a big thanks as well to Hunt Graphic Innovations. They help us out with our website at crmlivesports.com, and they do a tremendous, tremendous job. And Mark, got to get to this. Yeah, welcome to the controversy that is your favorite NFL football team. I went through it about a month and a half ago with the announcement that the Kansas City Chiefs are leaving the state of Missouri. They will be traveling west across the state line over to Greater Olathe, Kansas. And now, apparently, the state of Indiana announcing that your beloved Chicago Bears are going to be in the Hammond area. Perhaps. I don't think it's, I don't know if you've seen it. I've been busy the last couple of days. I don't think the McCaskey family or whoever's in charge of the Bears has come out yet and said it like, like the Hunt family did for Kansas City. But reports are out there that the Chicago Bears are going to be moving out of Illinois and Indiana into Indiana. Are you beside yourself? Are you ready to sell your Bears stuff? What is it?
I don't know how I feel, really. I mean, just because it's right across the state lines doesn't mean, I mean, you're talking about an area, Hammond, Indiana, the Wolf Lake area, which has casinos and a lot of attractions. That's the area that they're talking about in Indiana. And you've got the Arlington Heights property, that the Bears, 300 and some odd acres that they originally wanted to build the new stadium on. The property in Indiana is closer to Soldier Field than Arlington Heights. So it's just okay, there's a imaginary state line in between them. You know, the Jets and Giants play in another state. Your Chiefs are going to play in another state. Uh, the fact that the Bears are and Soldier Field are the oldest franchises and stadiums in the NFL, that kind of hurts a little bit. Imagine if you were a Packer fan and you wanted to move across state lines. I don't know what a city close to Green Bay is, but and they actually played some games in Milwaukee over the years. Nobody got excited about that, but as far as the Bears go, the iconic franchise, it's not like, Tennessee moving to Chattanooga, the Titans moving to Chattanooga or something like that. This is the Chicago freaking Bears. Um, they belong in the Chicago area, I think. If they move to Hammond, Indiana, I'll get used to it. Nobody in New York City cares that the Jets play in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Do they?
No.
I don't care. And moving to suburbs is not a new thing in the NFL. I mean, there's 6 or 8 teams at least that play in the suburbs of a city. So it's suburb thing is not a big deal. I'm not saying Hammond's a suburb of Chicago, but I just wish they'd get it done. I wish Kevin Warren would get his act together. I wish the Illinois legislature would get its act together. The Bears are going to commit $2 billion to a new stadium. The now it's about the infrastructure and all the tax breaks and all that. Just get this thing together and move on. But I don't blame Indiana. Indiana's smart to do this.
They are. And you asked about the list. I compiled it. There are 11 teams right now that don't play in their city.
Hmm.
um, if you will, and I can give you the list.
Well, Santa Clara is 45 miles away from San Francisco.
Correct. You got the Bills, Browns will be, Cowboys, Chiefs will be, Dolphins, Patriots, Jets and Giants, Cardinals, 49ers, and Commanders. None of them play in the downtown area or in the city
I think
limits.
Commanders are trying to get back to DC, but right now
They are.
they're in Landover. Yeah.
Yeah. They are trying to get back, but as of right now, they're out. And let's face it, you're going to get more and more of these because you need to have, and you talked about the casinos, you talked about all of the entertainment around there. Uh, Folks, that's the way it's going to be from now on. There's not a lot of room in downtown areas to build restaurants and hotels and shops and whatnot to keep you around these stadiums for an entire 2 to 3 day period, Mark. There's a reason Iowa State is building Town. I got news for you. And there are other colleges that are going to be starting to do this. The Chiefs, they've got a whole big laid out situation of entertainment areas right around the new stadium in this state of Kansas. Cleveland Browns are the same way. You're going to see more and more of these teams leave the inner city and go out and find these sprawling areas where you can spend 5 days and not leave. And if there's, a place to gamble, even better, I guess, right? Not my thing,
Um,
but
and maybe the thing is to just remove the cities and states from these names. Don't call them the New England Patriots. Just call them the Patriots. Don't call them the Kansas City Chiefs. Call them the Chiefs. Just the Bears, the Titans, whatnot. Tennessee's smart, like New England. They're in Nashville. But if they wanted to move to Chattanooga or someplace like that, they'd still be the Tennessee Titans. Maybe just remove the city or the state from the names. Just go with the
I love
nicknames.
Chattanooga. One of my
I
favorite
don't know.
cities
Yeah.
in America is Chattanooga, Tennessee. Been there several times. Good place. We got baseball. Hey, before we go, what the heck is wrong with Scotty Scheffler in the first round?
I don't know. He shot five over par in the first round of the Genesis, the slog that's going on out there with all the rain. But yeah, this is a pattern for him this early in the season, but it hasn't really hurt him because he started way back in the pack a couple tournaments and finished in the top 10. I almost guarantee you he'll finish in the top 10 in this one. I don't know what he's doing today, but um, I think him personally, he recognizes it's been a problem, and it's kind of weird, really, because why is it so much of a problem in the first round and not the last three? I don't know. I have a feeling he'll figure it out.
There was a golfer by the name of Woods at one time that also struggled in the first round a
Yeah,
lot. He did. He was pretty successful.
yeah, he seemed to. Yeah, he won a couple.
Are you buying Tiger's going to be at Augusta? I know he's going to be there. There's no way he can play.
Number one, I don't care. Um, Number two, I don't think he will. I think he's teasing people. I know he's out hitting shots and whatnot, but you went out and hit shots. Yes, Tuesday. You're not ready for the Senior City Am right now. Maybe you are. I don't know.
I am not. My irons are better.
We're 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 very much comparing apples to oranges when I'm talking about Unash and Tiger Woods.
Thank you for putting me in the conversation.
Yeah, no problem.
Fun. Yeah, I don't know. If Scotty ever gets it together in the first round, look out. And he's not like he's getting top fives. He's got that streak of top 20s going right now that he's just on the good side of the cut line today in Los Angeles. I don't know if they're going to get this thing taken care of today. in the second round. They may have to play it tomorrow and finish up, but there is a cut. They're only going to cut like 15 guys from this league.
Yeah.
So I really don't know why they're doing that, but hey, it is what it is. Maybe Tiger said we can't have that many people on the weekend. I don't know. It's his tournament.
I don't know. It'll be quicker anyway. That lift clean in place with the conditions out there. Some people are talking about maybe this tournament should be in summer or the fall. I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, the average temperature in LA is like 65, 70 degrees this time of year. It's spring. You're going to have a little bit of rain. So, but yeah,
We'll see what happens with that, and we'll see what happens with college basketball when we get together again next week. It'll
yeah.
be looking forward to that. Should I snow blow my driveway?
I had my people do it because there was a couple of drifts in the driveway. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just thankful that I don't live in Fredericksburg. They got like 15 inches.
The
They got a lot of
Stakers,
snow up north.
the home base of the Staker family,
Yeah, yeah.
the former Fredericksburg Falcons, now a part of Sumner Fredericksburg up there. And best of luck to all the wrestlers this weekend too at state wrestling as that winds up Saturday down at the Casey Center. How many over and under how many times Scott says Wells Fargo Arena when I'm there for the state basketball tournaments?
Well, if you don't say Veterans Auditorium, then you're good. But I can excuse Wells Fargo.
All right. Big thanks to Emil's Hideaway, a presenting sponsor. Thanks as well to Hunt Graphic Innovations, Dr. John Woolner at Epiphany Dermatology on Council Street Northeast, as well as American Family Insurance agent Kurt Gustafson on Johnson Avenue Northwest in Cedar Rapids. And Hunt Graphic Innovations. I think we got them all. Dr. John Woolner, Hunt Graphic Innovations, Bim Ritter, Kurt Gustafson, Agency of American Family Insurance, and of course, Emil's Hideaway, our presenting sponsor of this program. Thank you very much for tuning in. Do appreciate it. Have a great weekend, Mark. We'll talk next week.
Yeah, have a good one. Talk next week.
All right. This has been the Unash and Dukes podcast. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We'll talk to you next time.